knows a lot about the science stuff. Professor Dave explains.
In the previous tutorial, we went over the 5 extant species of egg-laying mammals that make up order Monotremata. In this tutorial, we will cover the 7 orders of marsupial or pouched mammals of infraclass Marsupialia, which are distinguished by their possession of a pouch either in their present form or in their past ancestry, since some extant species, like the gray short-tailed opossum, no longer have one. In order to better understand these animals, let's first go over a more detailed comparison of marsupial and placental evolution, followed by their reproduction, before finally reviewing the extant marsupial orders. Early marsupial evolution originated between 160 and 125 million years ago during the early Cretaceous or late Jurassic period. Soon after the diversification of their egg-laying ancestors, marsupials diverged from the placental mammals on the ancient supercontinent Gondwana. Fossil evidence indicates their presence in South America and Antarctica during the late Cretaceous period. The separation of Gondwanan landmasses facilitated marsupial diversification. In Australia and South America, isolation led to unique adaptations without competition from placental mammals, though this isolation ended in South America with its subsequent connection to North America through the volcanic Isthmus of Panama, thus resulting in the Great American Faunal Interchange, around 2.7 million years ago, that led to the extinction of a great many marsupial mammals and their replacement with placentals. However, since Australia remained isolated, its marsupial forms flourished. That is, until the arrival of humans some 50,000 years ago, which coincided with the extinction of many marsupials. In addition to their pouches, and unlike the placentals, marsupials have a bifurcated reproductive system. Females, for example, have 2 lateral vaginas, which lead to separate uteri, but both open externally through the same orifice. A third canal, the median vagina, is used for birth. The young are born tiny and underdeveloped after a short gestation, and must crawl up and into the female's pouch, where they remain attached and suckling a nipple as they grow their hind limbs and sensory organs. They gradually increase in size as the milk composition adapts to the changing needs of the growing young. Eventually, they grow large enough to leave the pouch, though they are often still cared for by the mother and continue to suckle until their dependency ends. In short, their pregnancy is characterized by a long lactation period and a relatively short gestation period. However, gestation can be extended in many marsupials for up to 11 months by a period of arrested development known as embryonic diapause, where the embryo remains in stasis instead of developing, allowing females to carry multiple young in different stages of development. Moving on, it is widely accepted that there are 7 orders of extant marsupials. However, their relationship to one another is still somewhat debated. Some of this debate has to do with the relationship of the Australian marsupials to one another, while another aspect has to deal with which New World marsupial group is the sister group to the Australian marsupials. For simplicity, we will rely on the cladogram proposed by Nilsson et al. The 7 marsupial orders are Didelphimorphia, Paucituberculata, Microbiotheria, Diprotodontia, Notorictidae, Paramelomorphia, and Dasyuromorphia. Let's examine them in that sequence. Members of order Didelphimorphia are commonly referred to collectively as the opossums. They are the largest order of marsupials in the Western Hemisphere, with over 120 species which originated in South America, and only one of which, the Virginia opossum, successfully migrated into the United States and Canada, where it is often simply referred to as the opossum, or possum, though it is but one species of opossum out of an entire order. Meanwhile, order Paucituberculata includes just 7 extant species of shrew opossums found only in the Andes Mountains of South America. Superficially, they resemble placental shrews, though they are not closely related to them. They are, however, about the size of a small rat with thin limbs, a pointed snout, and a slender hairy tail. Next, order Microbiotheria is represented by a single extant species, the Monito del Monte, which is a tiny marsupial whose name translates to little monkey of the bush, and is found only in a limited region of Chile and Argentina. It is known to be nocturnal and arboreal, aided by its prehensile tail to hunt primarily small invertebrates and the occasional fruit. That wraps up the New World marsupials. Let's continue our exploration with the more numerous and more widely known Australian marsupials. We'll start off with order Diprotodontia, which includes more than 155 species of extant marsupials, nearly all of which are herbivores. They are some of the most well-known marsupials, including the kangaroos, wallabies, pygmy possums, cuscus, brushtail possums, ringtail possums, gliders, honey possums, the koala, wombats, and many others, along with extinct forms such as the carnivorous pouch lion and the migratory Diprotodon. All extant and extinct members are united by two features. First, they have a pair of large procumbent incisors on the lower jaw, hence the name diprotodont, meaning two front teeth. The second is their syndactyl feet, where the second and third digits of the hind paw up to the base of the claws are fused. In contrast with the diversity of the diprotodonts, order Notorictidae includes just two extant species of marsupial moles, which are ground-dwelling animals adapted to digging. These are morphologically very similar to the placental golden moles, to which they are not closely related. An excellent example of convergent evolution, where unrelated species independently develop analogous traits, adapting to similar ecological niches driven by selective pressures, not shared ancestry. Next up, order Paramelamorphia includes the bandicoots and bilbies, though the terms, as common names, are sometimes used interchangeably. They are often characterized by their V-shaped faces that end in their prominent and flexible noses, which make them similar in appearance to the elephant shrews, though they are not closely related, in another example of convergent evolution. Lastly, order Dasyuromorphia contains the vast majority of the Australian carnivorous marsupials, such as the quolls, dunarts, the numbot, the Tasmanian devil, the diminutive long-tailed planigale, which is less than half the size of a mouse, and the now extinct thylacine, or wolf-sized Tasmanian tiger. Many species in this order are noted for their morphological similarities to placental mammals found elsewhere, their often restricted habitats, and declining populations due to human encroachment. And with that, we've covered the diversity of the marsupials, but we've still just barely scratched the surface of the extant mammals. Now let's explore the placental mammals, which is the clade to which humans belong.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.